Hot rods. Hot rods are typically American cars that might be old, classic, or modern and that have been rebuilt or modified with large engines optimized for speed and acceleration. There is no consensus on where the phrase hot rod came from, but it came into widespread usage sometime in the mid-40s. Hot Rod magazine launched in 1948. Since the 1920s, bootleggers and car enthusiasts had been customizing and enhancing their vehicles. This custom car culture eventually morphed into the first hot rodders and gained wide acceptance and popularity up until the 60s. The traditional look of a hot rod comes from the vehicle styles of this era. Once the muscle cars of the 60s arrived, the hot rod waned in popularity for a time. The hot rod became a term generally used for vehicles customized for performance. While the official definition doesn't specify a type of car, most understand in everyday parlance that hot rods are old or classic American cars with modified engines. The National Street Rod Association defines a hot rod as an automobile of 1948 or earlier that has undergone some modernization to the engine, transmission, interior, or anything else. A hot rod is designed for racing. So in official street rodder terminology, a hot rod is a vehicle from 1948 or earlier explicitly made for racing, i.e., not made for general street usage. Street rods. Unlike a hot rod, a street rod is made for the street, hence the name. Most states have different definitions for just what exactly constitutes a street rod. For example, in Kentucky, a street rod is defined as a vehicle weighing less than 10,000 pounds and manufactured before 1949 or has at least been reconstructed to look like a vehicle from that period. In Pennsylvania, a street rod is any vehicle that is a 1948 model, or older, and has custom parts. The National Street Rod Association describes street rods as a vehicle of 1948 or earlier that has had modernization to the engine, transmission, interior, or anything else and is a non-racing vehicle used mostly for general enjoyment. The more family-friendly version of the hot rod. The Street Machine division of NSRA is for 49 and newer cars. Rat rods. A rat rod is typically built for the street, but unlike your standard street rod, they have much looser practices and may not even use custom items from the same era. Most don't consider rat rods a real category, but rather a term used for all hot rods that are either unfinished or have a less refined, or even hodgepodge, look about them. Others say that rat rods are cars that imitate hot rods but are not an accurate recreation or period-correct restoration of a classic hot rod or street rod. Both usages are relatively common.